Yeah.
Nishant, you can. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Chaitanya, the Sergeant at Arms for this meeting. Toastmasters International is an international non-profit organization initiated by the leader Ralph C. Medley with a sole motive to improve communication and leadership skills among the members across the globe. Toastmasters International has 15,900 clubs, more than 345,000 members in 142 countries, and Wordsmiths Toastmaster Club is one among them. Toastmasters International works on four pillars of values, namely integrity, respect, service, and excellence. The mission of the club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop con- leadership and communication skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. Before starting the meeting, here are some codes of conduct. Kindly check if your mobile is in switch off or silent mode. Speakers who will be coming forth, please refrain from speaking on sex, religion, and politics. When a speaker is talking, kindly don't interrupt as it might distract the speaker. Members are requested to come in professional attire. Please put yourself on mute if you are speaking. Please turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. It's time to start the meeting. For the benefit of guests, all Toastmasters meetings shall be started and ended by one person called presiding officer. And today's presiding officer is an IITian who's at Madras, who's pursuing his electrical engineering along with a master's in the data science. So please welcome Mr. Aravind, Toastmasters Aravind, our club president, to start the meeting. Over to Toastmaster Aravind. Thank you.
I hope I'm audible. Am I audible? Someone who is joining online can.
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you. We can. Please go.
Good evening to all fellow Toastmasters and guests. There was a king who ruled over a kingdom, and he once placed a large boulder in one of his kingdom's main roads. He just hid behind a tree and waited for someone who would move the boulder. There were some people coming who was complaining about the king blocking one of the main roads of the kingdom being blocked. And there are many people who are going, and the king continues to wait for someone to move the large boulder from the road. And there's one peasant who is carrying a huge load on his back. On seeing the large boulder, he kept down his load, tried to push the huge boulder, and eventually succeeded. When he came back to pick up his load, he saw a purse lying in front, lying beside his load. So this was the king who placed a purse when he saw that the peasant moved the boulder. So the moral of the story is that everyone will have obstacles in their journey, but the one who converts the obstacles into the opportunity is the one who eventually succeeds and gets the one. On that note, let me start the meeting number 672 of Chennai Wordsmiths Toastmasters. So we have one guest who has joined offline. Can you introduce yourself, your name, and how you came to know about Toastmasters?
Hi, my name is Arjuna. I've been working in a private firm as an marketer. So I've been through Google, I've been training for somewhere where we have a public speaking, community, and that's where I came across this Toastmaster, and I found a lot of reviews, and a lot of people have said in my office as well that this is a great platform to improve your your communication skills, and it also helps you to get rid of your fear of public speaking. So I thought this is the best place and this is the best time for you to start. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any guests who have joined us online? Are there any guests who have joined us online?
No, no one.
Okay. Okay. So every meeting, every Toastmasters meeting will be run and run by one person called the Toastmaster of the day, who is the master, who will be acting as the master of ceremony for today's meeting. And today's Toastmaster of the day is a very energetic and energetic Toastmaster who contributes in various causes for the community as well. On that note, let me invite the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas.
Thank you very much. Truly exhilarating. You're supposed to clap for this. I use the word of the day. But that being said, welcome to our lovely guest here. My role for this lovely afternoon is that of almost the MC, the master of ceremony. At Toastmasters, we call them as the Toastmaster of the day. That being said, my role is to make sure that I take everything through smoothly. Imagine, I read this some time back. What happens if the Oscars, this is from online, Oscars was being done and there's no MC? You'll find like everybody running up to the stage to get their awards. So that's where the Toastmaster of the day comes in, where we make sure there's some little bit of an order. There's no guarantee we won't goof up, but then that's the idea of being here in Toastmasters. Today's theme, making life beautiful. Now, how many of you had the time to even think on that theme? And for the guest, we have a theme of the day. That's the theme. I am giving it very clearly as to how we're going about it. Something happened this morning, and I was thinking, like, okay, what makes this week special when I was asked to take up a role? Interestingly, I was just saying, oh, there has to be something, and I was like so particular about what the Toastmasters International, quote unquote, expects. Every day is special. It can be in any part of the world. In India today, we remember Lal Bahadur Shastri. But something very interesting is little things come, good things come in little packages. And he's one of my very favorite person, not much spoken about. I think he's absolutely respect-worthy and the cutest politician we've had. No matter we had Gandhi, we had Nehru, whoever. But this person always had something very interesting. That being said, I searched a little bit more. Today happens to be United States, they celebrate this day as a Make Your Day Beautiful. And I wondered who started this, very interestingly. So it's supposed to be some beauty company or whoever. But I didn't want to get into researching why and who brought it up because the theme was what mattered to me. Making life beautiful. Think about that. How many of you think life is truly beautiful? Are we saying it most disgruntledly? You should have the zeal, the excitement to talk about it, the exhilaration. Just imagine, all of you would have seen, or those of you who have seen what has come on our group post, we have a word for the day. How many of us feel that little flutter in our heart? How many of us wake up every morning to say, it's a beautiful day, or I was saying, so interestingly, I'm so happy. I have few people here, but I have chosen people here. So I think it's a beautiful day. I've made my life beautiful this afternoon by being here. It was my choice. I may have people at different variations. A song came to my mind. If you know the song, then you know English. If you know the song, you are with the times. If you know the song, it's very interesting. Now, I'm not going to be Julie Andrews or somebody who's on stage, but I'm still going to sing and you're going to listen to it. If you know it, you can click. All of you know to click, right? Yeah. You can do it. If you don't know, you can please tell me that you don't know. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Anybody? Show of hands? Online? Oh my God, I'm not the only one who comes from the 1960s. There is a beautiful song, raindrops and roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles, warm woolen mittens, brown paper package tied up with strings. These are the few of my favorite things. 1959, the evergreen movie, The Sound of Music. If you go to anybody across the world, that would be one of the names they would say for your communication skills. You wanted to learn language? Watch that movie. You want to know about etiquette? Watch that movie. So why would I talk about it? Everything. Just imagine when somebody says, the beauty is the dew on top of a rose. Whiskers on kittens. How many of us know why do cats have whiskers? Anybody? Why does a cat have whiskers? What is that beauty of that life? What makes the life beautiful for a cat that has whiskers? Anybody? Oh my God, you made me feel brilliant today. And I have an IITN too. How better can my life get? Now can you see why? Aptly making life beautiful. Thank you, my IITN Arvind, who is soon I will be introducing. I do have a little bit of time, but I will. Is somebody going to show the light? Simple. The divine gave whiskers to a kitten, so that's a sensor. You will always find the cat puts its head first. The minute it finds its whiskers bending over, its body will not go through. So that is a beautiful life. Making life beautiful is the cat's whisker. And I thought of giving you a story, and I never realized you would make me feel so brilliant with just stating something like that. Well, with that, I'll give you a little bit more food for thought as we go along, because for me, it is very interesting, exhilarating, and it's making life beautiful, connecting with each and everybody here. We have one more guest, and we will get them to introduce for a little while. As we always have, Toastmasters has a whole bunch of things that come, and we do go by time. I'm going to now introduce a very interesting person who helps in keeping things together for the entire duration of the session. That person, IIT. And the minute they say IIT, you get all like, oh my God. But today, trust me, guys, I feel like an IIT because I spoke about whiskers. Now, that being said, I'm just asking him, this person, as soft as he may look, he comes across pretty assertive. As to what makes a life, for him, it is like, he immediately says, the very existence, like he's so sure about what his life is all about. Very confident, but I'm going to wait for it later. I'm not going to say he's playing a dual role today, despite that. This person, our very own Toastmaster Arvind, is the general evaluator for today. And what does he do? He is the one who's going to be the captain of the three-man army. Like we all have in India, the three forces, but he's got a tag team, which I'm going to request Arvind to introduce. And after that, I will make sure my time is well utilized. Over to Toastmaster Arvind. And I think he deserves a round of applause. Even if this is a round, it's a round.
Good evening once again to all. So I am the general evaluator for today's meeting, and as the Toastmaster already said, I am responsible for monitoring this entire meeting so that it goes along as per how a Toastmasters meeting should go. And in order to assist me in this, I have a group of 3 people. The 3 people at the timer are counter and the grammarian. And the timer for today's meeting is the current Sergeant at Arms at this club, and he is a second year ACE student. And when asked about the theme. He said, life may have a lot of hardships, but we must have to keep ourselves happy to make our life beautiful. On that note, let me invite the timer, Toastmaster Nishan, to brief about his role.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So very good evening to one and all present here. So today I'll be doing the role of timer. So as a timer, it is my duty to note down the times taken by prepared speakers, evaluators, and table topics. Almost our time for the whole meeting. So for prepared speakers, we have 4 to 6 minutes. So at 4th minute, I'll be showing the green card. At 5th minute, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at 6th minute, I'll be showing the red card. After that, for evaluators, it's about 2 to 3 minutes. So at 2nd minute, I'll be showing the green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll be showing the yellow card. At 3rd minute, I'll be showing the red card. And for table topics, it is about 1 to 2 minutes. So at 1st minute, I'll be showing the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll be showing the yellow card. At 2nd minute, I'll be showing the red card. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
So, one thing to note, timer Toastmaster Nishan, we have 2 prepared speeches today. The first one will be 5 to 7 minutes, and the second one will be 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. Sorry.
So the second role is the R counter, and the R counter for this meeting is Toastmaster Shweta. Toastmaster Shweta has completed BSc Honors in Zoology and is pursuing a double MBA, one in HR, and currently pursuing international business. When asked about the theme, she said that making life beautiful is up to us because life is same for everyone, and it's up to us to make life beautiful for us. On that note, let me invite the accountant Toastmaster Shweta to introduce the room.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Sweta, the AHA counter for today. First, let me explain what is the AHA counter. The AHA counter is something that you are using in your speech which is unnecessary, like filler sounds, repetitive words, and like sounds, which is just decrease the effectiveness of our speech. So today it is my duty to note down the filler sounds and repetitive words like and, but, so, and I will submit my report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta, for briefing your role. The last role is a grammarian, and today's grammarian is a professor who loves to travel and to watch movies. When asked about the theme, she said that challenges are what makes her life. Can I request everyone to join me?
It's from this noise from Valadamadi mic. So
Okay. So let me invite Toastmaster Valadamadi, who is the grammarian.
So thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Arvind. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So today I am the grammarian for the session. So as a grammarian, my duty is to pay the close attention to all the speakers and during the meeting and find out the good usage of words and outstanding words, as well as non-good usage of words and English language during the speech. It is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. So today is the word of the day. Word is emblematic. So means serving as a symbol of particular quality. So example of this word used in sentence would be, so first, overcoming the challenge in the life is emblematic of making life beautiful. Second example, so whiteness is the emblematic of purity. So it is my responsibility to keep track the usage of the word during the speech. So I request you all the speakers to use the word during the speech frequently. So at the end of the session, so I will give my report when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Valadamadi. Along with these three people, the timer, archon, and the grammarian, I also have two prepared speech evaluators whom I introduced during the evaluation session. So I'll be back to the evaluation session towards the end of the meeting, and over to Toastmaster. Have a nice day. Yeah.
Thank you, and that was from our IITN fourth year. For him, challenges in life is what makes it beautiful. Well, what do you expect from somebody from IIT? It has to be challenged. Some of them pay to get the challenges, and some of us watch. So that being said, thank you very much. As all of you would have noticed, he introduced the tag team. The timer, the R counter, and the grammarian, who will make sure that the language is well used during the process. Now, that being said, before I move on to the speeches, make sure again that you use accelerating, making life beautiful wherever possible, everybody offline, online. It's important because that's the word of the day, theme of the day. Every time that's being said, we'll either clap or we will do this the way Victor had taught us and Anthony said. This is very interesting. So the idea is to still have a networking learning going right through. You know, the speakers, prepared speech, a very important, supposed to be important. It's something which will make their life beautiful with the pathways that they take. The speaker for today is one of my favorites too. I see him smile a lot, so that makes my day beautiful. I asked him, what does it mean for you when I ask you, making life beautiful? So this person tells me, we are absolutely blessed along with the zillion living creatures around. We also are here today to enjoy, so might as well enjoy the day. So he feels it's an excellent thing to be here. It's pumping. When we talk about exhilarating, you can use the antonyms, synonyms, whatever. Just make sure the vocabulary keeps flowing. What makes his life, he did something very interesting. His wife immediately said, whatever she says, it's her voice. The inner voice is from the parents. That was a nice way for him to nail it down. Now, who's this lovely gentleman I'm talking to you about? We always talk about their accolades, the things that they have achieved and where they're working. But today it's life being beautiful. So I'm going to call upon somebody who is difficult, and today comes to us this lovely, brilliant smile for the day. None other than Toastmaster Chidambaram. Chidambaram. Over to you. I told you I will be excused for group. In order for him to start, may I request the evaluator Toastmaster Bala, will you kindly read out his speech objectives?
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. And today's speech of my target speaker will be coming from the project The Power of Storytelling, and it will be covering this elective dynamic leadership, and it will be a level 3 speech from the pathways. And the title of the speech is 3 questions. I repeat, the title of the speech is 3 questions. The objective of the speech is to have the member practice using a story or give a speech that is a story. I repeat that the purpose of the speech is to have a member practice giving a speech using a story or giving a speech that itself is a story. Over to you, Toastmaster Chidambaram. Thank you.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. So 3 questions. So once an emperor had in his mind 3 questions that sprung up, which he thought were very important. Those 3 questions were, what is the most important thing for him as a king to do? Who are the most important people that he should always associate with? and what is the best time for him to do any job, right? He felt that these were the pertinent questions for which, if he had a very standard answer, he as a king is going to be very successful in all his endeavors and is going to make his mark in the history. So, in order to get the answer, he sent out a notice to the entire kingdom that whoever is able to give good answer, satisfactory answer for these three questions is going to be given awards. So lots of men started to flock to his palace with their own versions of the answers that they thought. So the answers were very varied, right? Like let's start with the first question. What is the best time to do any job? Some said you should always consult the astrologers and make sure the time you all stick to it as the king. Some said you should think on your feet. You are the king. You must make decisions on the feet and implement them. After all, you have all the power. Some said you should consult the priests. So they were all different opinions. The second question, what is the most important thing that he should do as a king? Again, there were varied opinions. Some said you should expand your kingdom, you should engage with the military. Some said you must propitiate the gods, you should always do all the rituals. And again, so many different options. And who are the most important men that he should associate with? So people, based on their own choices for other questions, came up with their version saying they should engage with the military generals or the wise council of ministers who are going to give him the advices based on the situations. And some said no, the priests who do all the rituals to the gods are most important people that we should always associate with. So without a satisfactory answer, so he then decided that he will take the advice of a hermit in their kingdom who used to live on the top of a hill. The strange thing about this hermit was he always only engaged with people who are poor and destitute. So in order to meet with him, he decided he will go alone, and he asked all his soldiers to stay at the foothills of the hill. So he went in a very normal attire, almost a rag attire, so that the hermit does engage with him and provide him the answers. So he climbed up the hill, went up, and saw this old person who was busily digging up his garden in order to plant some seedlings and plants. So when he greeted him, the old man smiled but continued to keep doing his work. So this man, the king, kind of gave a normal introduction. He didn't want to obviously reveal his identity. He just said, I come here with some doubts in my mind. Can you please clarify? I know that you are a wise man. The old man, but he continued to do his job. He did not really answer to the king. The king was observing him in his actions, and the old man was almost struggling to dig up the ground because of his frail health. So the king offered to help him. Okay, he said, let me help you. So he started digging up the ground, and he was doing this job. He dug up 2 rows, and then he was kind of tired, and he thought, okay, I've done my job, so let me ask this hermit again. Can you please answer the questions? The old man smiled, and he was just showing the other part of the garden and said, those areas also have to be dug up. I mean, he indicated it. He didn't open his mouth. So the king continued to dig up, and the time was going past, and it was almost the time of sunset. So the king was very frustrated. So he just went to the hermit and said, please tell me if you're going to give me the answers, else I'll make my way home. It's almost sunset. At that time, the old man started talking. He said, do you hear some noise around? As he said this, there was a man who was just rushing with blood all over his body. So these two people are suddenly seeing them and were shocked. So this guy came and just fell in between them. So the king immediately took him and then started to look at his body. He was wounded very badly. He started dressing him up. He tore his dress and started to clean up his wounds and then clean up all the wounds and dress him up. The blood was still continuing to flow, so he had to wash the wounds and spend a lot of effort in making sure that he's okay. After all that, the the blood flow stopped, but by the time he fainted because of all the blood loss. So they carried the person to the cottage and laid him there, and they both the king and the hermit sat with him entire night to just make sure that he's okay. When the morning came, when sun rose, the man regained consciousness and seeing the king there, he immediately said, Your Majesty, I'm very much thankful to you. The king was shocked. He was obviously in a different attire. He didn't expect somebody to recognize him. So he was asking, so who are you? The man then continued, I am the brother of the king of the neighboring kingdom who was slain by you in the last battle. I came here to actually avenge my brother's death. I was waiting. I knew that you're going to come alone to the top of the hill, and I was waiting in the foothills to get the right opportunity to attack you. But your soldiers caught me and they attacked me, and I came here running for my life. And you saved my life, so I'm very much grateful to you. And I'm always going to make sure that my kingdom supports your kingdom. So the king was happy. So with that happiness, he again asked the hermit, okay, now can you provide the answers? I must make my way back. The hermit said, your answers are already, you already got your answers. The king was puzzled. So the old man continued. Yesterday when you came up and you saw me, struggling to dig up the ground, you helped me. You spent your time in this particular job of digging the ground. Had you not done that, you would have gone back and the enemy who was waiting for you to attack you would have killed you. So the most important job at that time was digging up the ground, and the most important person to whom you gave the service was me, right? And so that was the most important person. So it was a time, you got the time, the most important person, the most important job. And then later, when this guy came running, he was badly wounded, you attended to him, you made sure that he was okay. Had you not done that, you would have lost an opportunity to make amends with the kingdom, right? And he was the most important person, and taking care of him was the most important thing. So the short story is, the most important or the best time to do any job is now. The most important person to whom you need to associate is the person who stands next to you. Make sure you serve him, and to serve him is the best job that you can do. Right? Because life is short and you may never get an opportunity again. So friends, this is in a short, these three answers, I think, are the keys to make our life beautiful and exhilarating. And this is a story from Leo Tolstoy. So with this, I hand it over back to Toastmasters.
Making life interesting through storytelling. It's always said a speaker, no matter who they are, should also be an excellent storyteller. If you wish to convey things, learn to tell stories. One of our most ancient art, India is known for it. Stories by the panchayat, story under the banyan tree, wherever it is. Either they spin a yarn or they tell you a good story. That was making life beautiful. Since I do have time, I'm going to quickly tell you something about making life beautiful. Like what Toastmaster Chidambaram just said. This is about a Zen story. Do I have time? Yes, thank you very much. There was this very elderly gentleman with his grandchild, and they had to walk miles to get water. So every time he would tell his granddaughter to take this little nice bamboo shoot, long rod, and on both ends, he had two pots stacked. So they had to go all the way. So every time they went, one pot was kept empty, another pot was filled. So he would choose either the left or the right. When they went on, the pot which was filled would have a teeny weeny bit of a hole in it. So the girl would get very upset with the grandpa. How can you do this to me? Heavy. My shoulder is dipping on the other side, and one side is completely empty. The blue. Say, no, you'll know me too. They go along, the water dripping. They would go to the other side of the lake, fill both their pots, walk back again. So when the girl walked again, it would be like that. She was cribbing and complaining. And he said, one day you'll see the beauty of what you do. Little did she realize. As days went along, this practice went on. There was one fine day. She ran back to her grandfather and she said, Grandpa, you have to see what is there on the side of our path. Guess what? There's a beautiful little flowers popping. She said, it was on both sides. Grandfather looked and he said, are you surprised? She said, yeah, but we never had anything there. So all that he said was, that was a dry patched path we walked by. But the pot that you had with a hole was dripping right through as we walked. So the entire pathway was getting nourished, making life beautiful. So all that you see, the sprouting of the lovely flowers was that. It happened on both sides because remember, he only got one pot with him. There was a hole and he would turn around, the girl would walk, the other side would get water. So when she goes there, it would be the left. When on her way back, it would be on the right. Both sides were done. The grandfather felt, if I don't teach her today, then when? It's important to see, as we give, so shall we receive. That being said, life is beautiful. It's encouraging, it's exhilarating. Every time you see a life with or without a mouth to speak, put yourself there. Will you sprout from a parched land with just the trickling of the water? When is the time? You will find or make time to water a ground that's going to give you nothing. That was a quick Zen story. I love Zen stories. So I took this awesome opportunity to share it with you. It wasn't prepared, it just popped in my head. Thank you for making life beautiful. Now, we come to another session. Prepared speeches. You just saw one person. And next we have this very interesting young lady who will be evaluated by another TTM. Shruti. Very interesting. For me, it's been a journey. I watched this just stern young lady who I used to think, oh my God, how can I speak? And it's interesting if you notice today, these two people who are prepared speakers both had certain similarities. I did think, will I be able to approach them? One very dearly, one very fearfully. And I am telling you the truth. But today, she's become such a sweetheart. A girl I value and respect a great deal. This young lady, when I asked her, what do you think about life being beautiful? She was very optimistic about it. She said she enjoys it. She just loves it. She enjoys the simplicity of it. That's so typical of her. And if you really see, like watching a movie over the weekend brings her a thrill, which I often ask, when was the last time any one of us here had a popsicle? Did you enjoy every time you took a sip out of that lovely popsicle? Do you know the time you have to take while you take a softie and enjoy the chill on your tongue? Simplicity. When you ask what makes it beautiful, she said, like everything, Interesting question. I asked her, like, who's the one who's told you? This is one of my questions to her. That because of you, I am what I am, and you made my life beautiful. She enjoyed the question, but I think from whatever I've read and heard of her, she has touched quite a number, just like Toastmasters. To evaluate none other than our ever and almost an ant, a quiet worker, Toastmaster Shruti, will be DTM Karthik. May I request evaluator DTM Karthik to kindly read out the project objectives.
Thank you, madam.
I'll have you back for a while. I'm just saying that because I saw the post. You came in after a long time and we've been waiting for you, DTM.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. It's a pleasure to meet you all after a long time. I think after a gap of about 6 months, I'm back to Toastmasters. I just forced myself to be here for today's meeting. Thank you so much, and I'm excited to evaluate my good friend Toastmaster Shruti's speech today. The objectives of her speech are: the purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of her team.
And the purpose of the first speech is for the member to give a short overview of the plan of a project. The time allotted for this speech is 2 to 3 minutes. The title of her speech is The Hunt, and Toastmaster Shruti is attempting level 4 from Pathways Manual Innovative Planning. With that, I wish all the very best for my speaker, Toastmaster Shruti, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Topic.
Is Toastmaster Shruti ready to start?
Yes, before I start, is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Thanks for the confirmation. Dear Toastmasters and guests, I have a good question to put forth before I start my speech. The question is, what is it that you, as a speaker, as a role player, as a member, as an ExCom member, feel that needs some improvement, some twist, or even perhaps some fun? Is there anything at all you would want to name? Aspects of the meeting, I mean. Anyone? Do you feel we need a change in something that we do, maybe the time host report or anything for that matter, any role play, evaluation or anything? Yes, Jyoti ma'am.
Yes, I do. Every time I'm constantly wanting, I'm like Oliver Twist, give me more. So I always think we need to keep evolving at every meeting and have things a little bit more new, impromptu, rather than being very structured. I think I
Great. A difference in the meeting structure is something that we all are looking forward to. However, Toastmaster Jyoti has come forward to reiterate it once again. Likewise, I'm sure that most of us have many different things that we look forward to as an improvement, as a change to see in the club meetings. My project, The Hunt, is all about finding those improvements. What are the scopes for improvements in the club with respect to the club quality as well as with respect to the membership engagement? You must be all thinking, why is it named The Hunt? It is just that I'm very eager to find it because I've been trying it for almost a year now and still a long way to go. As clearly stated, what is this project about is improving the club engagement and club meeting quality. Of course, every action is driven with some purpose in it. Why we need to increase the engagement level in the club meetings or the quality of the meeting? Well, this is clearly why we need to do it. Every member wants to endure a very rich experience, meaning ranging from networking to the quality of the speeches they prepare, the kind of constructive feedback they receive, and most importantly, what they take home after the meeting. The learning curve, the most important thing that we all await for. So the why purpose that really drives this project is clearly as stated. This gives us the idea to formulate the objective of this project, which is to suggest improvement to the incoming ExCom team so that they will take positive actions in order to create the change that we all are looking for. Some fun in the agenda, a different twist in the agenda format, trying to improve our education goals with respect to Toastmasters and whatnot. The project process is basically in 4 different steps. How we're going to start is by preparing the concept. We're going to conduct a survey for which we need to ideate few very powerful tools, basically questions
that contain categories which all of us are being put to. This survey targets all the members. Though I've got a team to work for this project, the team also involves every member's response to the survey. The third important step is once we share the survey to the Toastmaster members, once they fill out all the questionnaires and we gain their responses, my team and I are going to sit down, analyze almost every response and find what is the significant change that we can bring to this club in its meeting and its responses. Finally, after inferring, we are going to suggest the great improvements to the incoming XCOM team. Well, as already said, the team is, of course, us all as the members of Chennai Wordsmiths Toastmasters Club. However, to analyze, to conduct the survey, and most importantly, which forms the basis of the survey, which is to come up with a set of questionnaire. And for that, we have Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas and Toastmaster Arvind joining me in this project. And I'm sure with these two, with their very invaluable experience, they would be giving great insights as well as helping me to infer the best for our club. As you might be wondering, what is the scope of this project? You might all understand that it is going to improve many aspects of the club meeting. However, something deeper to it that I want to add upon is this. The meeting style, as already stated by Toastmaster Jyoti, the agenda, the style, the way we conduct, the sequence of the agenda, everything can be changed. So what are the things that Toastmasters members here expect? So a change in the agenda can be brought. The second thing would be education goals. Learning is of two things. One is the speed and the other is the quality. It's not just about how many speeches I present a month, but also how effectively I do it. The third most important thing, the membership experience. Though we learn a lot, of course, we all want to be valued. We want to be given opportunities, equal opportunities to go explore something that we have not done before. All of this counts as Toastmasters experience. And that is what our club is here to give for. Last but not the least, or perhaps I would say this is the most important thing, the quality. As already stated, it is not just about the number of speeches, the number of role plays, the number of times I've done a GE role or Toastmaster of the Day role, but how have I made it more creative? How have I made it more better with respect to quality? How am I engaging the audience who are listening to my speech? Every single detail matters with respect to personal experience. And when it comes to XCOM, every single detail in setting the standard quality for our club meeting. If Chennai Wordsmiths is at that level, what it actually means, what the actual meeting brings to the member, the experience matters. And this is the entire scope of the project. I'm sure with the responses that we get from each and every member here, who's also not there in the meeting, and few members or ex-members whom we would reach out to understand what is that something they feel needs improvement at Chennai Wordsmiths, is something that we three are going to dig upon and find the best analysis, so that I'm sure this conclusion, this inference is going to make all our lives beautiful by enriching our experience here at Chennai Wordsmiths. And I'm sure that after a few months, we will be nothing but purely exhilarated to ensure, to experience, and to lighten up our journey as Toastmasters. I'll meet you all back 2 months after we have taken in all the responses from you and did the specified analysis that it requires, and to finally infer. I'll be here in 2 months to present you the results along with my team of what this project has really found and how it can help the upcoming XCOM team to value each response and act towards implementing those. This will be the project that I am taking up for this innovative planning pathway of implementing this. And I'm sure this will be not just a successful completion of my project, but a great success for our XCOM, for our club as well, if implemented. So that'll be it. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shruti. That was indeed beautifully put across, and I'm sure many of them will be giving you loads of information. Now, something very interesting. People say a lot of things about it. Popcorn. Once I used popcorn, and it became Control-C, Control-V continuously. So it's not a popcorn session. Table topics. It's one of the reasons I'm here today. The first day, I just happened to visit a Toastmasters club somewhere in 2006, 2007. I had no idea where I was going. I was out with a friend at the ISTD, and I happened to see Abraham Zachariah. He said, oh, I know him. So I just walked into one of the Toastmasters meetings. And I sat there and I was looking around all that I know one person. So I sat with my one mentor whom I mentioned. If you remember the name, Ramani Johnson, I'm sure one of my mentors here will remember. Interestingly, we stayed because that happened to be a beautiful moment. Made my life beautiful indeed. It was at the table topic session I decided to become a member of the Toastmasters. And my first speech at that point was, curry in a hurry. Curry in a hurry. And I said, oh boy, did I have to? And I looked at somebody and I said, what is this? And somebody said, just go, you have to speak. And knowing Zach the way I do, go, just speak. I said, oh, I have to speak about it? I had no idea. And knowing me, the way you see me is, okay, go and speak. That's what it is. One of the most dynamic sessions. It truly will make your life beautiful after that, because you'll be looking at the mirror and saying, I wish I had said this. But there's always a tomorrow. To run this lovely session of table topics, we have somebody with 2 decades of work experience. A man who always thinks you should not expect anything from anybody. That's what makes his life beautiful. There's something very interesting I learned about him very quickly this morning was when he told me, what did you do to make life beautiful? Because he said he's got this dream, 10x, he wants to pick up students and the most enviable universities across the world, like the Stanford, the Oxford, the Harvard, whatever. He picks up people who cannot afford to crack the exams yet, and he likes to train them through, put them right there. And I thought that is truly excellent. He also said, thank you very much. You can be a little loud and clapping. This is Toastmaster. One more he added was, he met somebody who was a little older to him. He treated her like a didi. And apparently he put her through MCA. And this should be several years ago when he was also not somebody who could just throw a coin across and feel that I have enough to throw. I'm sure he battled quite a bit. And today, apparently she turns around and tells, all this is because of you, making her life beautiful. It is indeed very encouraging when we find good souls. And for that he says, it's not me. It's your kismet, your fate, your destiny. Here a thought that comes to my mind. It's very easy to give away your accolades, whatever we get, being very bashful about not wanting to take the credit for it. In youth, I learned, in age, I understand. There are times with a witness, Toastmaster Arun Kumar here, I battled to always say, yes, I've done it. I've always felt shy. I can do a work, I can do things, but I've never felt good about going and saying, yes, I did it. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, take it from me today. If you don't say, nobody's going to say. I grew up at an age when I was told, you cannot behave like your trumpeter died this morning. I don't know if you remember that phrase, yeah. Don't talk about yourself. Did your trumpeter die this morning? But now the new age for the new gen is, if you don't say about yourself, nobody's going to say. You need your own hand to pat yourself and say, good job. With that being said, I had an opportunity to make my life beautiful with being a protege for two people who are half my age. One was Shreya Bajaj of Tech Easy Head, and the other was Toastmaster Arun. Over this 1 year, from COVID, I could say, and Arun especially, made my life beautiful because I would have made everybody's life hell. He picked and chose things for me. He curated it. The reason I'm saying is, Toastmaster Shruti mentioned, what do you need? Each one of us here, each one of you watching me, have a desire every time we come to a Toastmasters. With that, this is your day. Be jubilant, be exhilarated, and bringing to you none other than Toastmaster Suresh. I swore to his wife I was not going to give him this power because he's not here with us. But nonetheless, he's a nice human being. So Toastmaster Suresh, over to you for the table topics, the zing thing for Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for very nice introduction. And now we are going to enter into, I would say, interesting, but other side it's also shocking for those. I'm going to pick the name. This is like this is a impromptu session, and this is very imperative in our professional life, because in professional life, many occasions we get very short span of time to express our ideas, views in front of leadership team, and that is going to make a huge difference in your professional life. And if you talk about in professional life, personal life, this impromptu skill also help a lot, because this is going to teach you to develop the skill not to talk too much. So while you are at home, you're not talking lengthy and you're finishing your word in a few words, then you are like avoiding a lot of conflict at home. So that is going to make your life beautiful at home, and it's exhilarating. So let's build this beautiful, accelerating skill to make our life beautiful in profession as well as the personal. So I would like to invite first Toastmaster Ashiyat. So for Toastmaster Ashiyat, your topic is turning point of your life which made your life beautiful. I repeat, turning point of your life which made your life beautiful. Toastmaster Ashiyat, I think she's not available. So I would like to pick some other question. Yeah. Toastmaster Chaitanya.
Yes. Oh, yeah, please.
So your topic is best moment of life when you felt life is beautiful?
Best moment of life, according to me, is when I have achieved my first contest. When I have achieved a contest all by myself over with whatever knowledge I have, and also a moment of pride on stage, where it was an inter-school competition. I didn't know my potential, that I had a very much interest towards computer science, but that contest had exposed me in a different level. Until then, my parents used to see me that I was someone who was very obsessed with computers, and they used to restrict me from limit spending my time on that. So that was it. But eventually, when I achieved this contest and I went back to them, they were very much, they were very surprised about the outcome. And given that it was an inter-school contest, and it has received a prize amount, it gave me a prize amount for that. So I feel that was the best moment of my life. And life has given me a different venue to venture into that space and see how it goes. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
These are the good things that we enjoy. We have Chaitanya right here, surprising us.
So next person I'm going to pick
May I
timer.
request Toastmaster Suresh to speak up a wee bit, please? It's not clear. Yeah, just the audio.
Yeah. So next person I'm going to pick our timer Nishant. For a moment, someone can take care of time for him. Yeah. Bala, would you like to take care of his time?
Yes, I will do take care of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A topic for him, turning point of life which made your life beautiful.
Turning point of life which made. Okay. So to be frank, I don't have like that type of incident. So just just teenage, so not like moment. So can you just change the topic?
Oh, okay. Do you believe in returning back to society to make life beautiful for others?
Sure, sir. So you asked me to turn back to society to make beautiful life for others, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's like making us peace and giving them peace and making us peace, like giving others a good life and making us happy. If you do something good to others, the smile on their face will make some good happiness inside us. So that's it, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next person I'm going to pick Jahid Jamal. Are you able to hear? Jahid Jamal. I think he has some issue. Any person from the venue like to pick? No. Yeah. Any person from the venue like to try?
Zahid is here. Zahid is offline. It's Zahid.
Jahid. Okay. So your topic is life is beautiful. What does it mean for you?
Okay. So beautiful could mean different things for different people. I come from a background where beautiful means coming up with a lot of challenges. I feel when you challenge me, it makes my life more interesting. And when things get interesting, life is beautiful. Just to give an example, I've not been a very good student all throughout my life, but I had this challenge where I had to really do well in my higher graduation so that I get into a very good college. And I put in a lot of effort at that point of time to ensure that I accelerated the pace of hard work that I put in and ensure that I do well so that I get into a very good college. And after that, I started enjoying these challenges. And I realized that life gets beautiful as you, for me, the definition of life being beautiful is when I challenge myself more and more. That being said, I think life being beautiful could mean different things for different people. For someone, it could just mean simplicity. For someone, it could mean enjoying the smaller things in life. For someone, it could be materialistic. With that, I'd like to close off saying that my life is beautiful because I love the challenges that life gives to me.
Any other person from the venue like to pick one table topic? Your topic is life is beautiful, or we need to make our life beautiful.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, life is beautiful or make your life beautiful. Well, that's a great topic because I think many don't really realize, despite they have not happy in their life, whatever they're not satisfied with what they have. So in that way, they need to be grateful in what they have, looking at the people who don't have what exactly they have. So life is definitely beautiful for me, I would think, because they have been stages in my past. I would say I have felt looking at someone saying, you know what, hey, I don't have what they have, what car they have. I don't have the education, what they have. Wish I had. That's the exact phrase I always constantly returns in my head. So later when I turned 30, and that's when I felt I had some maturity in life to see how life exists, how exactly it is there, in front of your eyes, what God has given you. So I totally think that you need to realize that what you have is blissful. I mean, it's grateful. You have to be thankful. So not just crying, saying like, no, I wish I could have had this, or feeling jealous about what the other person have as well. So I think you should just take it as life is beautiful and embrace it. Thank you.
Any volunteer from either from online or venue?
I can go. Toastmaster Bala here. I can go.
Yeah. Bala. So, topic for you: life to live. Don't just exist because life is beautiful.
Could you repeat it, Toastmaster Suresh?
Life to live. No, don't just exist because life is beautiful.
Yeah. So every one of us, what we think, like when we are confronted with problems, right? And so we sort of be desperate, and we sort of think that if this is end to all our life, right? And the one similar thing also happened to me. So in my professional career, so my professional career is something where I'm expected to be talking and just talk on the phone, right? And I would, at one point of time, even have realized, why do I even need to talk so much to actually to equal living out of a day, right? And that is something which has grown bigger and bigger in me over the period of my working and having gone through a few years passed by, and then maybe up to 5 years, 10 years passed by. And one thing I've felt is that our approach to life is something which is going to be deciding if we take the life beautiful or not. And if we are able to, if we get any problems on our way, if we do get confronted with difficulties, if we even would need to be walking on the road, it is a mindset which is only making the difference. And it is us who can firmly believe that life is always going to be beautiful. As they would say, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And whatever calamity, problems you face, do not make sure, do not think bogging down that this is going to be a problem. Just try to get over with it, and things are really going to be getting back in place. Like the piece of puzzle falling into place to make a vivid picture. Yeah, that's it. Over to you.
Thank you. Any volunteer from venue? I think someone was willing to. Or venue. From venue, someone interested? Yeah. For you, a topic is, how did you manage your last failure to bounce to make your life beautiful again? Once again, I repeat, how did you manage your last failure to bounce back to make your life beautiful again?
Right. Just to confirm the topic was how do you manage your bounce back from your last failure to make life beautiful again, right? So, so to start this, failures never make my life not beautiful. Yeah. But one thing that makes my life not beautiful, I don't want to call it ugly, so not beautiful is when I try a new plate of biryani at a new hotel and I don't get it. That's when my life turns really ugly. Okay. Now this is now I compensate it by ordering, let's say, kebab or let's say tandoori or something like that. But jokes apart, yes, we do face failure. We do get demotivated at that time. That time, it might appear to us that okay, things are not going on our side, like how it happened yesterday when my boss clearly washed me and so it is at times like this we will have to think about something that every day is a new day. Every day gives us a new opportunity, and definitely tomorrow is not going to be today. So if we have this thought and we practice ourselves to always keep this thought in our mind, yes, life would be as beautiful as always. Like when you get a biryani with 2 pieces of leg piece.
Time, TM Nishant, do you have still time?
We are running out of time. Shall we get over this?
Okay. So now I'm winding up this table to session and handing over the control to Toastmaster of the day, TM Jyoti.
And one more thing, I want to know the names of I don't know some of the names. So for the polls, I need to know the names.
My name is Anjana.
Okay. And the teal blue t-shirt.
The deep blue t-shirt is Vignesh.
Vignesh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can just share screen on Zoom.
Yeah.
I think okay, it's being projected there.
So now
Yeah.
I'm winding up your table topic session and handing control over to TMOD, TM Jyoti.
Thank you very much, Toastmasters today. Not too many of you will have the opportunity to see 3 pros. Those who have just barged into this room and those who came in early, they made our life beautiful. Because it's so good, and this is the spirit of Toastmasters. Seriously, when we're doing something offline, it makes you feel so good, and it's thank you once again for giving us a complex. So with that being said, we are supposed to keep time. Moving on to the next will be an interesting session that they just brought in. It's important. Exhilaration one side, life one side, but we also need the salt and pepper with something. Now, the value of it will be somebody who says he can speak multiple languages. He likes Narasimha Rao, right? He's also, we will give him a badge once we hear. Over to Toastmaster Chaitanya, who surprised us by sitting outside and speaking.
Right. Thank you, guys. I'll start off with the game session, which is a quiz session that I'm planning to do it. So it's a crossword puzzle. I'll show the hints and the questions. You can answer me with that. Just I'll have a crossword. Yeah. I'm not so tech savvy with it. Right. So let me know first you're able to see it.
Go to the crossword and do Windows left. Just Windows left.
Okay.
Yeah, Windows left.
Wow. Right. So these are the purpose of this puzzle is actually to bring out the words that you know. So I have some space fillers. I want you to fill with the appropriate words that fit in aptly here. The first one is life has dash 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 7. 8, 3, 6, 5, 8. Wow, game is going even there. Right. 8-letter word.
Wait, you know the answer, right?
Yeah.
Then you can count the letters and see.
Yeah, you can try this. So, and also you have to, once you find the word, you have to tell me the meaning of that.
I think I know the answer for it.
Can I try?
For all of us.
Now the next part is you have to explain what is the.
I didn't go to the meeting. I saw it in the language just yesterday or something. That's why that word is there.
Blessed out meaning. Given unto us, blessed upon us, thrown like if he got 2 legs of biryani, he's blessed out.
A blessing is what they are saying. Yeah, it is saying. Right. Then we have something called see the across down section. Darwin's theory of that's a theory, famous theory from Darwin. Evolution. People know that. Yeah, that's one. This is very obvious. You could have told me. You have to give me what does that word mean?
Difference, no matter how it's like we can have multiple people, different colors, different race, different fruits, different, but we still stay together.
Right. Then this is one more word, which is humans are social beings. Give me a one-word synonym. Off the screen, please let me hear something. Humans are social beings. One word for social beings. Something.
How many letters is it?
You're going to the next part, I think.
How many letters is that?
Yeah, 4.
It's 4 down.
4 10. 4 is across.
Where's 4 down?
Actually, the across and down is swapped, I guess.
11-letter word. It's a 11-letter word.
11 letters?
If you can recall it, this is something we had it as a topic itself. I mean, the theme of the day once.
Every week we have.
We have word of the day. We had a word of the day also. It starts with G. Now let's see.
Gregarious?
Exactly. That was what.
Thank you.
You use the word multiple times in your talk speech. That's right. Yeah.
Surprise myself. Check and see if it's right.
Then under this remain. Wow, right. What's the meaning of humane? Quality
going a little bit more in terms of more empathetic and more than sympathy, it's empathy.
Compassion, empathy is what they say it as humane. That's what differentiates the animals and us is what they say. Then
this is also for those who are online.
Yeah, please. Let's take some break here.
We can't see it.
First of all, can you hear us? Are we audible? Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Great. Perfect. Don't get a complex.
Right. This is something we have studied in our geography and biology books.
This is for those who are online.
Yeah, Earth has a wide variety of.
Oh, my biology teacher.
Really was.
Then have a break.
I think we are running out of time there.
Oh, we get it all. We have all the prenatal species.
Yeah, species.
For that, please.
Like you, me, the fish and the bees and the birds and everything. Different varieties that form the life.
Biological meaning is biological meaning is taxonomy classification.
Those who can
Zoology meaning.
Right.
But the
But I
non-biology
see
of
something as
zoology.
taxonomy classification is what they call it as species. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for
Off the screen identity.
That's it. I'll stop my screen. Sorry, we can go on.
I think they took a break.
They had the coffee break.
Can you go on a gallery view so we can see it?
Top right.
Yeah.
Yeah, review. Yeah.
Some of them are not on mine, I guess. Bala, are you okay?
I'm 100% okay now. Yeah.
I thought they'll say no because somehow we got lucky. I think we have new people with us.
Yeah, sure. I do want to make more noise. I keep making it.
So, thank you very much, Chaitanya. That was a quick one. He escaped by giving us food for thought. Along with, luckily on your behalf, we are having a cup of coffee, along with some simple, nice party. They don't want to see. I'm not getting into all that. With that being said, I will be failing in my duty as a Toastmaster, forget as a Toastmaster of the day. It's truly encouraging today to have guests with us because I think it's bringing back the spirit of what the TMI started off with. It believed in breathing life and making it beautiful by bringing in people from the community to enrich their communication skills. And this is one of the clubs, not Wordsmiths, Toastmasters is one of the clubs that is purely a non-social but a speaker's forum. That's what the original version was, and I do hope and pray we are sticking to it, because as much as we know, yes, over the course of time, if you wish to improve, you will. If you want to get even better, you will, if you wish to. And you click and find somebody to hang on to nurture you and take you through, mentor you, be a protege, whatever. This is important. We have 3 people and we're indeed honored to have you here. Thank you. Comes to a very important point right now, where I ask our IITian, the general evaluator, who's given Minsa. You thought table topics was something, and today we will go on the autopsy table, where he will call upon his tag team and take us through the most crucial part of evaluations. Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for that wonderful introduction and for calling me IITian and kind of it's going to embarrassing me. It's making me proud to embarrassing me. Thank you for that. So on that note, let me start with the first session of this evaluation session, which is the evaluation of the prepared speeches. We had 2 prepared speeches today, and the first one
was by Toastmaster Chidambaran, which will be evaluated by Toastmaster Bala. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. And I would first want to give a round of applause for Chidambaran, Toastmaster Chidambaran, for trying to complete his project. He completed his project, and it was sort of a champagne moment for us. And to have you talk on the stage is something which will also encourage a lot of other people as well. And I noticed that you started off your story. You were very much into the story. You started off. Is there any trouble in hearing me? I'm sorry. Is my voice audible? I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
Oh, got it. Yeah, fine. So you sort of connected the dots, and it is not quite an easy thing, right? And to actually have the flow of the story and to make sure the audience are engaged right from the beginning, from the get-go, is something which is going to be an art in itself. And you, in fact, got through all those points, in fact, summed up the story, and that was put up very nicely, in a very meticulous way. Kudos to you on that. And as I told you, you had the knack of bringing audience closer to your story by the way of asking questions, and you inserted probably 3 questions in your story, and which made all of us get understood on the storyline that you were narrating. And I felt you could have just upped the number of gestures that you have used in the narration of the entire story. That just would have made the whole storytelling a lot more polished, and then it could very well have been stood out, or it could very well have stood out among the rest. And that was my humble feedback, like more gestures that I believe you are able to incorporate, and you in fact are able to have all the experience, and you should be able to do it. It should not be a big deal for you. And the message in the story also complemented the whole story in itself really well. And the message that was emanating from the body of the story, the content, that also was quite making all of us quite curious. So what was the message that you are trying to tell? And we used the theme of the day, and which is again, we would want to appreciate you for, and how lucidly that you have been able to relate the moment in the stories. And that is also like a hallmark of the whole narration that we in fact put forth on the stage. And a very good command over your vocabulary and as well as your language is what I also observed. So that is again hallmark of a great public speaker. And last but not least, you finished the speech on time. And again, this comes by experience. And you in fact have made this whole day very beautiful. And you also used the word of the day in your speech as well. It was, to sum it up, a well polished, excellent narration of what you wanted to convey to the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bala, for that crisp evaluation. Now to evaluate the speech which is presented by Toastmaster Shruti, let me invite DTM Karthikeyan to evaluate the speech.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests once again. Today, I'm feeling elated to evaluate my speaker Toastmaster Shruti's speech. The purpose of the speech, which is to enhance club quality and members' engagement, was well explained by my speaker. And I guess the audience were able to also understand the objective of the speaker's project today. What I liked a lot in the speech of Toastmaster Shruti was that speaker had a brilliant opening. She straight away jumped in asking Toastmaster Jyoti for a feedback on enhancing the club quality, which I liked a lot. The transition was very smooth. She started with what is the purpose, why, and then concluded with objective behind. And I never found any flaws in any part of her speech. Well done. That reflects the amount of homework done by Toastmaster Shruti before her presentation. I, as an evaluator and part of the audience, what was my expectation from Toastmaster Shruti's speech was also well explained by Toastmaster Shruti. And I basically expected the speaker's view on the areas of improvement in the club, which was explained by Toastmaster Shruti. She could have maybe explained a bit more in each of the points like membership excellence, enhancing club quality, increasing educational goals of the members, and the rich learnings from every club meeting. They could have been a little bit more explained, but for the benefit of the guests, they could have been explained a bit more, but the time was a constraint there. So the speaker kept it short and I have no comments there. The speaker went ahead introducing her team who shall be helping her in her project. Well done. Coming to the areas where the speaker could have focused her attention towards, maybe some homework could have been done there. And I felt, of course, once again, emphasizing on the point that the time was a constraint. She was only allotted 2 to 3 minutes and she has done justice to her speech, but maybe she could have squeezed in a few seconds maybe to highlight the credentials of Toastmaster Jyoti and Toastmaster Arvind when they were introduced. And for the benefit of guests who came here for the first time today, it would have been nice to hear from the speaker, who also is our past president, a few words about Chennai Wordsmiths. Maybe if I were Toastmaster Shruti, I would have said that our club happens to be one of the second oldest community club in Chennai. That could have made guests understand that they are part of one of the best clubs in Chennai. And finally, to conclude my evaluation report, the purpose of the project was successfully achieved and accomplished by the speaker today. Well done. I'm looking forward for the team's report in next 2 months, and I wish my speaker and her team all the very best for this project. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Karthikeyan, for that detailed evaluation. So this ends the first session of this evaluation, where the 2 prepared speeches, which is given at the start of the meeting, are evaluated by our 2 evaluators towards the end of the meeting. Now we move on to the second part of this evaluation session, which is the general evaluation. So to start off with the general evaluation, we have the tag reports. So I had introduced the 3 roles, which are timer, accountant, and the grammarian at the start of the meeting. They will be making note of whatever they have explained. The timer will take note of the time given by different speeches. The accountant will note down all the lexical and non-lexical fillers, and the grammarian will take note of the good and the not so good usages, as well as the usages of the word of the day and the theme of the day. So they will present the reports now. First up, I will call the timer Toastmaster Nishan to present his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So for prepared speakers, Toastmaster Chidambaram took 7 minutes 45 seconds. Toastmaster Shruti took 9 minutes 15 seconds. So after that, for evaluators, Toastmaster Bala took 2 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Karthikeyan took 3 minutes. For table topic speakers, Toastmaster Chaitanya took 1 minute 20 seconds. Guest Sahid took 1 minute 5 seconds. Guest Anjana took 1 minute 24 seconds. Toastmaster Bala took 1 minute 45 seconds. Next, I don't know whether it's a guest or Toastmaster. Toastmaster Vignesh took 1 minute for 25 seconds. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nishan, for that crisp report. Next up is the R counter, and let me invite our R counter, Toastmaster Shweta, to present the report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. And good evening to all of you once again. It was pleasure listening all of you, and I made my report. Speaker Toastmaster use 3 times so, and I didn't notice any counter for Toastmaster Shruti, Toastmaster Chaitanya, no counter in table topic. Toastmaster Nissan 2 times so, and guest Zahid 2 times and 1 time and guest Anjana 1 time so, and other counter. Toastmaster Bala, I didn't notice any counter due to poor connectivity. Toastmaster Bala 3 plus and Toastmaster DTM Karthikeyan no counter. So congratulations. And Toastmaster Chaitanya as a game master 2 times so. Three plus soap and Toastmaster Nissan. I didn't notice any other contest for Toastmaster Suresh also. I didn't notice. And TMOD Toastmaster Jyoti, no contact. Congratulations. Toastmaster Business, one time soap and two time. Thank you and over to you, Chandra.
And finally, we have the grammarian Toastmaster Valamati, who I think would have had a lot to note about, because I think this will be a record for the number of usages of the day and the word of the day. I invite you to present the report.
You can't hear, right?
Valamati, we can't hear you. You're not audible.
Is it audible? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Suresh. So first of all, I would like to thank you all the Toastmasters for giving me the great learning experience. So let us start with the usage of word of the day and theme of the day in today's meeting. So Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas used the word of theme of the day more than 3 times in her speech. And then Toastmaster Chidambaran couple of times used theme of the day in his speech. And then Toastmaster Shruti once word of the theme of the day in her speech. And then Toastmaster Suresh used once in his speech. And then Toastmaster Nishant used once in his speech. So now move on to the outstanding word usage in which I have noted. So for accelerating, and then to lighten up, and in youth I learn, in age I stand here, and then trickling of water, and then nourishing, making the life beautiful, and it is in need, and bled all over by King was puzzled. So these are the outstanding words which I noted while during the speech. So that's all. I hand it over to the General Evaluator Toastmaster Aravind. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Valamati, for that report. This now concludes the tag report. And this is time for, as a general evaluator, I will present my overall evaluation of the meeting. So as always, the meeting started on time at 4 p.m. There were, I think all the role players were present on time. I think they joined before the meeting started. So that's a plus. The meeting started with Sergeant Adams explaining the code of conduct as well as the rules for the meeting. And after that, I, as a presiding officer, gave my thoughts for the day and had my guest introductions. The Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas, brought the intensity and sustained the intensity throughout the meeting. And I think in the know your role session, for the corresponding know your role session, this was what was mentioned by TTM Maithili, and she had followed it throughout the meeting. So kudos to her for that. And then started the prepared speech session. There was an excellent story narrated by Toastmaster Chidambaran. And in the second speech, Toastmaster Shruti had explained her project objectives, her team, and why this project is being taken, so that the next ExCom, who will be taking charge from July 1, 2022. So for their help, she is undertaking this project as a part of her innovative planning path. So she explained her team and her project in an excellent way. Then in the table topic session, Toastmaster Suresh had topics which are relevant to the theme, and he also called members by the order. He followed almost the order, I guess, starting with the non-role player, then the guests and the role player. So this order was followed. in today's table topic session. So kudos to him for that. And also the topics are relevant to the theme, and the speakers also delivered excellent speeches. Then both the evaluators of the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Bala and DTM Karthikeyan, follow the sandwich theorem, which is starting the evaluation speech with the commendation, followed by the recommendations that they are giving to the speaker so that they can improve in the next speech, and finishing the speech with the commendation so that they can leave the speaker on a high note. And this will serve as a motivation for the speaker to improve rather than pointing some faults at them. So kudos to both the evaluators for following the sandwich theorem. Then the tag team gave their reports as per the timer, Arconta and the grammarian. So kudos to them for that. And I think the time was also being, the agenda was also being followed closely. And I think we are ahead of time on that. So kudos to all the role players for sticking to the agenda. So coming to the recommendation, I think those the laptop was brought late, so we had made some temporary arrangement. So the person who is carrying the laptop is advised to reach the meeting venue ahead of time, since hybrid meetings is the way forward. I think we are having the rest of the meetings of the term. The next week is online because of the D120 awards, and the last meeting of the term is hybrid. And since the hybrid meetings are the way forward, I think this kind of etiquette should be followed. And since it's the starting days of hybrid meeting, this can be forgiven. Okay. On that note, this concludes the evaluation session for today's meeting, and let me hand over the back to the Toastmaster.
Thank you again, General Evaluator, for taking us through things that go well. Yes. There's nobody who knows everything, there's nobody who knows nothing. I'm going to thank myself because I kept my speech rather short, so we should make sure we can also wrap up on time. Before I close, I need to thank everyone. It's easy for us to say make life beautiful. What do you look at? Where do you draw that energy from? I always look up to my most favorite bird, the eagle. That's very divine for me, don't ask me why. I'm in awe every time I look at it.
What?
Exactly, I don't know. It puts me in awe for the simple reason, I think it's a bird that's challenged and gives a lot of intriguing questions in my mind. One is, as it ages and starts living again, the way it can pull every feather with the talons off and still survives and lets its beak come through. But my point is, I'm in the corporate world today. Interestingly, I grew up at a time we had storytellers at home. Unfortunately, the new gen have to learn or listen to stories what somebody is cooking up. I'm going to feel very young. I have a very interesting Mrs. Shweta Suresh Kumar, who's just decided to get very beaming and enjoying her life today. It's making her beautiful. There is something very interesting when it comes to the principles of the way the eagle lives. We have so much to learn from what life is. What is resilience? The fifth principle of the eagle's life, the winning principle, if you ask us. The way the female eagle soars up and allows the male eagle to pursue it as it keeps going right up. It has a twig in its beak and it'll drop it. So what does the male eagle do? Male eagle, as it will do, will go back up there, pick up the twig. The minute that is done, again the female eagle will go, take it off the its beak, soar higher up and drop it again. This is the way the cycle works. The beauty of the life of that species. the female prepares the male to be strong in one, in pursuing it, and two, it's a preparation before they can even mate. To find out if the male eagle is strong enough to pick up its little baby when it is thrown off the cliff. That's the way the baby's going to learn to fly. So if the daddy eagle or the papa eagle doesn't know the beauty of life and doesn't pick by swooping right down and bring it back to its nest, it'll never learn. If a bird can do that, how much more do we need to do? Learn. Life is beautiful even when it's dangerous. So many of us think table topics is dangerous, and most of us think, the Toastmasters like to play dangerously too. Very adventurous, it's like a roller coaster life. That being said, this is the place to be in. And I think after this, the polls will come up. Thanking each and every one of you for being here. I'm going to now request our dual double actor, general evaluator, and the presiding officer, Toastmaster Arvind, to conclude. And are we having the polls? Any announcements?
Yeah, ma'am, we are having the polls now online.
Thank you, Nishant, for that. I'm sorry, you almost got. You were like a fly in the wall. Sorry, those who are online. We
Okay.
need you to.
Okay, ma'am.
Let us all, I think we've signed quickly. Oh no, somebody's doing it here?
Yeah. Thank you. Toastmasters for another wonderful meeting. As the polls are being made ready the traditional way for those who are here, I request the Zoom master to launch the poll for those who are online so that they can vote. Speaker. So I'll just make the announcements. So we have earlier announced that there will be a meeting tomorrow, an outdoor meeting at Towers Park. That's actually not, that's not there. So the meetings will, this month the meetings are only on Saturdays. The next meeting will be on June 18, which is an online meeting. Because of the D120 awards, Toastmaster Arun Kumar has posted the announcement in our WhatsApp group. It is happening at Vadapalli, the Green Park Hotel. 25. It will be a hybrid meeting in the same window, which is the workforce spaces. The members are requested to attend, preferably offline, if not at least online. So let's wait for the poll results to come. Feedback. Okay. We can take the feedback from the guests. Can we get some feedback from three guests on how the meeting?
I can't stop to.
For this meeting.
For the session.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to give an opinion. And I think this. Well, I think in this meeting, I've been to a previous Toastmaster meeting as well, which is the speaking towers as well, because since I didn't have the timing, it did suit me, so I came in here as well. So I think this is a really energetic group in here, and people are very chirpy, and they actually give really feedback. They find very supportive, even despite me, I'm a very nervous person, but you still encourage me. I think it's a really positive environment where I personally feel that we can improve our public speaking skills, and people are very friendly and supportive, so I think it's a great team.
Anyone guess that?
I think I would first off start off by especially thanking your Toastmaster Day, Toastmaster Jyoti. I think she had the energy throughout. And to everyone in the meeting. Also to Shiram Madam, I think that was a great speech, and all the others who presented. I think my overall experience, I'm new to Toastmasters, joining the meeting for the second time. and I feel that the energy is very positive, and it's encouraging and you're welcoming as well. Really enjoyed it today.
And can we call guest Ritesh to provide his speech?
So actually, so for everyone who has this doubt whether I'm a Toastmaster or a guest, I used to be a Toastmaster. Yeah, I used to be a Toastmaster for 2-3 years, and then I took a break from Toastmasters because of COVID. COVID gave a break for everything, so it gave a break for and now I'm looking forward to join back in Toastmasters. Yeah. So this is the second meet that I'm attending here. I mean, second meet I'm attending after I took a break in general as well. Yeah. So I really enjoy the meet. So the first thing that I always look forward when I attend a meet in the club is how the members are like. Are they? You get the vibe, right? When, especially when it's an offline meet, and when you're able to see people like this rather than like this. Right? So it gives a different kind of vibe, and I always believe that like we always say in Toastmasters, right? The effectiveness of a speech depends on the audience that you're saying them to, right? So the better the audience, the change the audience, the better we feel. And this club has definitely made the speaker feel like that, close to that. And looking forward to attend more meetings with you guys.
Yeah. Let me invite the area B1 director and our long-time club member,
Thank you all, and I should say life is much more beautiful when you attend Toastmasters meeting offline. Because it's been a while that I attended Toastmasters meeting offline, and I started my Chennai Wordsmiths journey in the year 2019 April, and soon after a year we had COVID and we had to stop meeting people in person. But today was a great day. Today we had opportunity to talk to people. I still remember those days where even the smallest role that I was given, like a man in timer, my legs used to shake a lot, and like I used to by heart a lot of things, come here, stand and like probably mess up everything, speak something that I have not written, and so everything had happened in those times. And like what this 1 year of online meeting helped me was to make me feel comfortable that like even at my home I can speak, and today my legs are not shaking. That's something that I feel positive about this online meeting that we had. But I can tell you the kind of vibe that we had today offline was completely different. So people over there, Nishant, Bala, anybody like who haven't got this opportunity to meet people offline, I tell you like make sure that you come offline, and like if at all you cannot attend offline, then you go and do online presentation or online speech or online evaluation. So that's something that I want to leave you all with. And most importantly, we have another important event coming up on 18th, which is the awards night, where you will meet a lot of people across district. I think close to 400 people will be coming there at Green Park, and like we have a big event organized. So might be some people getting awards, and so it will be good people coming there in person and getting to know each other. So that's something that I wanted to say. Second thing, we have our 675th meeting coming up, probably second July. Yeah, 2nd July. So I would request, along with Arvind and Nitya ma'am and others who are planning, pull yourself into the leadership team and like ask them what you want to do for the big event, because not many club really has gone so far like 675th meeting. So we have almost, if you calculate, it's about 13 years, 14 years of Toastmastering for this particular club, which is not so easy to do, right? Like people change. It's. I always say Toastmasters leadership is like you are someone who have the baton today, but like you give the baton tomorrow to somebody, and like they take it forward and like go forward. So far we had about 26 presidents. Now new president is going to come up. So let's all unite together in this great event, 675th meeting. Be there in person, not really having say what do you say, offline online meeting. Like let us do our best to be there offline and celebrate that event, and let's get into this mode of really public speaking, not just speaking to the monitor or speaking in front of a laptop. So that's something that I want to leave you with, and I really had a great time today. I invited myself to speak here because Suresh did not call me for table topics. So thanks a lot. So I was just checking myself like whether my legs are shaking today. So unfortunately not. So thank you so much, and looking forward to meeting you all soon in the awards night and the 675th meeting. Thank you.
Feedback. I think we have to tally the votes both offline and online. I don't know how we are able to do that.
Tomorrow, send a text message.
Okay, I think this can be done offline.
Or give priority to people sitting there.
Also, yeah, I resonate with Toastmasters, whatever Toastmaster Arun Kumar said. Once you come offline, I mean, it will become, you will just want to attend the meetings offline. So I think most of those who are attending online have rarely been to an offline meeting. So I also joined Toastmasters, Chennai Wordsmiths at around the same time as Toastmaster Arun. I joined with me. And the meetings used to happen at Towers Club, and there'll be a minimum of 30 people in every meeting. Some of them are really senior people who will be encouraging you to speak. That atmosphere is really infectious, and that vibe is slowly coming back now after post the pandemic. So I request every one of you who are attending online to come have offline as your first preference, and if not, then attend online. So on that note, let me adjourn the meeting 672 to 18th April and open the floor for anybody.